People with ADHD don't know how to fucking grieve. And I wish I would have known this. This is something that a lot of people don't realize. When it comes to ADHD and somebody dies, a loved one dies, we lose somebody, a relationship, all this, we don't know how to grieve because it doesn't create any dopamine. In fact, it creates a lot of sadness, and our brain doesn't produce and harness dopamine naturally of how it should. So our brain actually will not grieve this. It's very difficult for us to grieve and know how to understand and comprehend loss because our brain instantly goes to a dopamine searching to feel good, to get focus. And guess what? We don't grieve, and all it does is compound with us. The grief is always there. The trauma is always there. But our brain doesn't allow us to actually address it. And this is why it's so important when you have ADHD, if you lose people, if you're struggling with grief, you got to get into therapy because to get our brain to slow down to actually start processing it is a process all of its own. And that's why so many people with ADHD struggle with grief, struggle with loss, struggle with different traumas that we haven't addressed because all it does is compound. It's still there. It doesn't go away. And we're moving on to the next things as it just grows more and more. Now we're taking that baggage into new relationships, into life with us, not healed. So now, again, it is now a lot of self-sabotage. There's a lot of things that go along with it. And I wish I would have known this because we don't know how to grieve worth the shit. But when you do get the right therapist, it makes a huge difference. That's why it's so important to get therapists that understand ADHD if you're diagnosed with it, because they can help you with it and they understand how this process in our brain works. I wish I would have known this a lot sooner because, man, it would have made a huge difference in my life. I got diagnosed ADD at 13, re-diagnosed ADHD at 17. And the more that you know, the easier that life is, and you deserve that life.